My name is Brian Storm, and today we're looking at the best base cards by Faceoff rating in Hockey Ultimate Team as Bergeron looks at his own base card. And Coverboy, no, not McDavid, Coverboy for this video happens to be the card with the best Faceoff rating. Huh, who knew? Donning a 90 in that stat, you should be afraid when he's taking the draw. So part of the reason I'm making this video is to help you guys choose better centers for your team. The other reason is watching out for your opponent's centers. Like in this case, I noticed that my opponent is using a McDavid, and you'll see me doing this a lot in my LiveCom games. Just because they're a center doesn't mean that they have to play center. McDavid has a pretty bad face-off rating, mostly because he's new to the league, while Getzlaf has one of the best, the second best face-off rating. Giroux, or Canadian-sounding Brian Storm, rounds out the top three. I should mention all of these ratings are also in the description if you just prefer text form. But then you wouldn't hear my sexy voice nor my overview of these players, such as Ryan O'Reilly, who's good on the dot, but as slow as a slug. You probably don't want to have him in your top two lines. Jordan Staal, usually an underrated gem, finishes up the top five with a face-off rating of 86. Sadly, he's as slow as O'Reilly, but should be pretty cheap. Getting into the 85 overall cards, we have Sid the Kid, who usually has a devastatingly low face-off rating. Well, this year, thankfully, they brought it up, so now he's more respectable at the dot. Hanzal ties Crosby for 6th and is usually a good pickup when a special edition of his card releases. If you guys need any additional help on face-offs, keep an eye out for my video in my series entitled The Secret. Vermette, he's not only a stud on the face-off dot, but he's also really fast, making him a good pickup for those really cheap budget teams. Pavelski's the first non-center that makes this top player list. So if you have him, make sure he's playing center for you. Glendening, another cheap card with a good face-off rating, and he's pretty fast for an 80 overall. He's also another right wing. That rounds out your top 10. Number 11 is Jonathan Toews. Just kidding, I know it's Toews. Relax, calm down. And if you have him, chances are he's playing center for you. All these upcoming guys, including Toews, have 83 for a face-off stat. And Matt Duchene is easily one of the best cards on this list because not only is he fast, he has a low overall, so he's underrated. And he has a good synergy. Definitely pick him up if you can. Dubinsky, not bad. Oh wait, that's what other YouTubers and content creators would say. He's just an average looking card with a decent face-off rating. Koivu, a stud every year on face-offs. One thing I do want you guys to keep in mind is every player has lower face-off ratings. So even the players in the high 70s kind of have decent face-offs and should be looked into as centers, at least in the early game. Left wing and Sobotka makes this list, which is kind of weird. Backstrom, this is a sexy card. But the only time left wings take a face-off in the EA games is when you're on a two-man penalty kill, a 5-on-3 penalty kill. So sticking Sobotka on the left wing would suck. Kesler and these upcoming guys are tied for 17th with an 82 face-off rating. Usually Kesler is one of the best face-off men in the game, but this year EA shows no respect. Back is, he's no Bergeron, but I guess he's okay. Pretty average for his rating. Helm's up next, a fast and sexy player, and that's mostly because he's a Red Wing. Outside of that, he's got a good synergy, and again, 82 face-offs. Letestu, not someone I ever had on my radar, ever. But for an 80 overall, he's got 84 skating, which is pretty decent. Also, we don't look at EA's generalized stats, his skating being 82, when his advanced stats tell more of a story. Or someone that I use starting out. He may not be a staple on anyone's team, but still someone to look out for in case your opponent pulls him out of his sleeve. Similar idea with Beagle. Some of you guys may just want good face-off guys and not care about how fast they are or how good their shots are. Tied for the 23rd best face-off rating out of the base cards is David Krejci. This year his face-off rating is much higher and he has decent speed, handling, and awareness. Backlund's a lot like Krejci, except all of his important stats are lower, so get Krejci instead. If you don't believe me, flip back and forth between the two. Kruger, he's at least he can skate as well as the rare cards. Next one's interesting. Tyler Seguin, who usually has a terrible face-off rating. He's actually useful this year as a center, guys, but since he's a righty, well, decisions. MacKenzie? Nah. You'll live without ever having to worry about this card, I think. Henrique, decent stats for his rating, his overall, but that synergy makes me never, ever, 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 ever want to touch him. Bozak, he's alright, I guess. At least he can skate. You know, no concrete blocks attached to his skates. Next, we have Benn MacKenzie, another Toronto Maple Leaf. Oh, I'm sorry, Ben Smith, not Ben MacKenzie. I kind of treat him kind of the same way because he's got a bad shot. Okay, that's why. Last one with an 81 face-off rating is Brian Boyle, and yikes, that is a terrible looking card. Looks like he's just there to piss off your opponent, but if your opponent knows that you have him on your team, then you might just laugh instead. Jamie Benn, a left wing that should be your center instead. He's got amazing stats, but he's going to begin the group of guys that have a face-off rating of 80. His Dallas Stars teammate Spezza is also here, who looks about average, but has pretty good handling skills. Let's feed him a line and see what happens. Let's see if he can handle it. Kopitar, a bit on the slow side, but makes up for it with his handling and his awareness. Johansen, a good shooter with good puck handling, with silky smooth as a synergy, so he gets a thumbs up from me. But again, still 80 face-off rating. Travis Zajac of the New Jersey Devils. Now, when I pictured Zajac, that is absolutely not what I pictured of his picture to be. Is that his high school yearbook picture? But I guess he's average for an 81 overall. I love me some JT, but 83 skating, man, that is so depressing. At least you have a Corey Perry-like shot with a John Tavares-like stick handling. Then the last player on this list is Bo Horvat, whose rookie also has the same face-off rating. Again, seems pretty average for an 84. That'll do it for this list of the top face-offers. If your centers aren't on this list, you're using them wrong. Tune in next time where I give an overview of the heroes.